Hey guys, what's up? This is Alex, your coach of the Toronto Star Raptors, here with my team builder for Week 11 against the Cleveland Escavaliers. Um, he's got a very threatening team. We're tied. We're in a three-way tie for first in terms of record. So I'm the lowest in terms of differential. So we're in a really good position to get into playoffs. But that doesn't mean I can slack. These last few games are the most important. If I start letting up now, I can easily fall out of the race for playoffs. And if anything, I need to take this time to improve my differential so I can kind of rise up in the seeds and kind of guarantee a spot. So we're not out of the woods yet. He's got a very threatening team. Victini is just a complete threat. It is so many different variations it can run. There's so many different moves it could have. It can be a substitute set. It can be scarf, banded, specs, expert belt, all types of things. So I really have to scout the Victini out and see what it's bringing. Breloom is a problem. Now, I do have two grass tips on my team, so I don't think Spore is a super good bring for him, but it is a possibility, and I really don't want to have that happen. So I have to be aware of that. It also, Rock Tomb, Bullet Seed, Mach Punch really tears through my team, so I have to watch out for that. He's got the Vaporeon, great wall for Entei, so I do expect that to be brought. So that's something I have to keep in mind. He's got the Nidoking, which, if he brings, is almost definitely going to be Scarf, because the Scarf Nidoking can tear through my team. Otherwise, it's not a huge threat. It's just a little too slow. So if I see Nidoking, I'm just going to assume it's Scarf off the bat and play accordingly. He's got the Xatu, good defog / magic bouncer, but I don't really see it happening. I think he only just recently made the trade, so maybe he made the trade for this match. Maybe it was part of his plan. So we'll see about that, but otherwise I'm not too worried about it. He's got the Gramble, another good check to Entei, but otherwise it's not that good in my personal opinion. He's brought it a lot, so I do have to prep for it and beware of it. Because it can do a lot of damage. He's got the Mega Absol. He hasn't brought it a lot this season so far. I looked into his stats. But it is a good check. I do have the Reuniclus. I do have the Latias, so he does have a lot of good reasons to bring it, especially since it also gets Play Rough and a lot of other good moves. It gets Iron Tail for my Mega Diancie, so that's all stuff that has to be considered. He's got the Scizor, almost a guaranteed bring, just because, again, of the Diancie. He's got the Thunderous T, really good Mon, especially since I don't have a Grass type. It can Volt Switch all around my team. He's got the Milk Take, excellent Rock Setter, and just Cleric in general. And then Excelgor, one of the best Hazard Setters in the game, in my opinion. He also just recently picked up that Mon. Don't know if we'll see it this week, and I'm honestly not super worried about it if I do, but we will see. So anyway, that's my quick breakdown of this team. We're going to jump into my team real fast. We have Blue, the Sock, rocking the Choice Scarf as always, matching his color, Mold Breaker, Close Combat, Earthquake, Thunder Punch, and Poison Jab. Now I'm running enough speed on his, on my Mons. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, so with this speed investment, a max speed, if you can't tell that, and that is so I speed tie with a Scarfed Thunderous Therian form. I also outspeed a Scarfed Adamant Victini, so I can get in there and do massive damage with it, which is what the Earthquake is for. Because I am rocking Mold Breaker, Thunder Punch will go through the Volt Absorb on the Thunderous. Sorry. Other than that, I do have excellent coverage for his team. Earthquake hits Victini, Poison Jab hits Breloom, Thunder Punch hits Vaporeon, Earthquake hits Nidoking, Thunder Punch for Xatu, Poison Jab for Granbull, Close Combat for Absol, Close Combat / Earthquake for Scizor, Thunder Punch for Thundurus, Close Combat for Miltank. The only thing I don't have a super effective move for is Excelgor, but it's so frail that it's going to be taking massive damage from anything Saw can bring. So that's the set. Again, pretty basic this week with him, but what are you going to do? Next up, we have Mega Diancie, hoping to actually do some stuff with it this week. Rocking Moonblast, Diamond Storm, Earth Power, and Protect. I'm running enough speed to outspeed a Thunderous Therian, I believe. Yes. So a timid Thunderous Therian, I can outspeed, as well as everything else on his team, like Victini. The only thing that outspeeds me is a Jolly Mega Absol, but its only move to hit me is a Iron Tail, so we can kind of play for the miss there and take it out with a Moonblast. Max special attack, the rest infinite attack as usual. This has pretty good coverage for his team. Moonblast hits Breloom, Mega Absol, Diamond Storm hits Victini, as well as the Xatu, the Thundurus, and Earth Power hits Nidoking and kind of Scizor. So I do have good coverage for his Mons. The ones that don't take any super effective damage are still going to take good damage from it. Vaporeon's the best wall he has for it. Miltank does also wall pretty effectively, but those Mons, other than Vaporeon, they can't really do much to me without Toxicking and stuff like that, and that doesn't work with my Mega Bounce. It can also kind of bounce Spores from Breloom, but it's not a really reliable check to it just because Mach Punch takes me out, Bullet Punch takes me out, so I do have to watch out for that. It's not a good counter for Breloom, which is why you'll see why I brought a certain Mon coming up. Next up, we have KY the Tentacruel. We're rocking the Black Sludge Liquid Ooze this week, as always, because he does have the Breloom. It can go for draining moves, but even if that's not a likely possibility, he doesn't have any Spadef drops that I'm really worried about on his team. I guess he could have Psychic on Victini, but I'm just going to die to that. I don't know what happened to this set. These were all max. There we go. So I'm running max physically defensive this week because I can take things like Decreate from the Victini, Breloom I hard wall, a physical Nidoking other than Thunder Punch or Earthquake can't really touch me. Granbull I wall, Absol I do a decent check to, Scizor I take, and Miltank I can take on. So really good for his physical threats. Rockin' Scald, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Ice Beam. Great coverage for his team. I can hit pretty much everything super effectively. Giga Drain is for the Vaporeon, although I am thinking about swapping it out for Toxic Spikes because that will help me with some of his Mons. Although the Nidoking can just come in and soak him up, and he does have 2 Magic Bouncers, so it's not a great idea. Maybe I'll just swap it out for Toxic. But anyway, that's my KY this week. Next up, we have Mufasa, Choice Banded Entei. Finally bring this guy back. I've been running AV and stuff like that a lot, so I really want the power of the Choice Band. It is kind of a risky bring this week because of the Vaporeon. It hard walls me. Granbull, I also kind of get walled. When in doubt, I'm just going to hit Sacred Fire and hope for a burn. But other than that, I again am rocking max speed, max attack, just a basic setup on this Mon. That's because I speed tie with his Adamant 100s being Victini and Miltank. I can outspeed Thundurus if I want E-Speed, no matter what. And I do want E-Speed, mostly because he can bring like an Agility Thundurus. He can have the Scarf Nidoking. He can have a Victini that outspeeds me. So I do want it as a last precaution. Sacred Fire as always. Stone Edge and Iron Head just to cover up my weaknesses. So I can do massive damage to Victini, and I can hit Granbull really hard. Been thinking about switching it to an Expert Belt. It doesn't do as much damage as the Choice Band. Not even close. Like, I think with the Expert Belt, the highest roll on Iron Head is on a Granbull is still weaker than the lowest roll of a Choice Banded Iron Head. So it is a trade-off, but being locked in might not be a great thing this week. Although, to be fair, if he switches into a Vaporeon or something, I'm not going to stay in anyway. I was thinking about running either an AV or some other set that allowed me to run Toxic, because he does have so many switch-ins, but I just didn't think it was a great idea, especially because he's got 2 Magic Bouncers, and I kind of need Stonehenge and Iron Head. The only thing I could think of reasonably get rid of is Extreme Speed, and I think Extreme Speed is too valuable to bring this week, especially with the power of the Choice Band added to it, so that's kind of why we're running it the way we are this week. Next up, we have Avion. This is the Mon I'm most uncertain about on this team. You'll notice I don't have Registeel on this team. I love Registeel this season. It's one of my favorite Mons. I'm definitely gonna nominate it for an award of best just support Pokemon on my team. I love it. I think it's great. I would love to get up Rocks this match, because he does have the Victini, he does have the Zatu, he does have the Thunderous T, and he does have the Excelgor. A lot of powerful threats that are weak to Stealth Rock. It will help me whittle them down and help me put a timer on them. I would love to put in Regirock, but I kind of felt like I needed Avion here. I needed more fire coverage for the Scizor just because I am so threatened by it. It also hits the Breloom, another thing I'm threatened by. And it just has a great speed stat against his team. I outspeed everything on his team that isn't Scarf, which I love. In hindsight, maybe I should switch one of these moves to like a superpower so I can take out the Absol, although I'm fairly certain that a Hurricane with this investment does massive damage to him as well. Also the U-turn, which I'm forgetting, which is another real reason I wanted to bring in. I want a U-turn and just kind of mess up with his team that way, knock off things like the Nidoking, the knockoff, especially because I am worried about a Scarf Nidoking, a knockoff. Worst case scenario, I need to get that off. I'm running enough speed, as I said, to outspeed a Jolly Absol. No Scarfers. That's the best thing I can outspeed. Also a Scarfed Adamant Breloom, apparently. So that's that. The rest is max special attack. Then I ended up the rest into attack, with the last 2 sets of 4 going to HP and Spit Def, so they're not wasted. U-turn, Heat Wave, Hurricane, and Knockoff. Again, Knockoff, there are certain items I just want to get rid of. I will do massive damage to things like the Teeny. U-turn just to get in and out of there. Heat Wave is for the Scizor, and then Hurricane's just for stab. If I was going to drop him on for Registeel, it will be Tornadus. This is something I'm going to debate. I am having this match tomorrow, or at least that's what we scheduled, so I don't know how much time I have to make up my mind, but that is the plan. It is the most expendable mon on my team as far as I'm concerned. Last up, we have Air Canada. Another mon that's been giving me a lot of headaches just trying to think about it and what I should do with it. You notice I'm running safety goggles. That is because of Breloom. If he brings Breloom and he brings Spore, which I don't know if it's a good idea, because I do have the Diancie, I do have the Amoonguss, I do have the Rotom C. I want a hard counter to Breloom. I outspeed it, I switch in, I take any of its stabs, I threaten it out, because with my stab psychic attack, sorry, I'm running Psychic, Shadow Ball, Ice Beam, and Dragon Pulse. I threaten it out, and then I either take a big chunk out of something on his team, or I kill the Breloom. So that is mainly the thought process behind here, because I don't want something to be asleep. I am thinking of switching safety goggles to Colbur Berry, so I can take a Sucker Punch or a Pursuit from the Mega Absol. I think that is going to be my play. I think I am going to change that now I'm saying it out loud, talking to you guys. You notice my spread. Again, enough speed to outspeed a Thunderous T. Max special attack, the rest in HP and defense, so they're not wasted, and kind of helping me take more of those physical hacks from the Mega Absol. I do think that is going to be my play. I think I am going to switch safety goggles for I am going to switch safety goggles for a Colbur Berry. Let's do that right now. I do like the idea of the safety goggles, as it does enable me to switch it on literally anything Breloom can do. So now I can't switch into a Spore, but I don't think Spore is a good bring against me now, looking at my team and talking about it out loud. I have the Rotom C, I have the Amoonguss, I have the Diancie. A quarter of my team just shuts down Spore, so I think I'll probably be more offensive. So that is my set this week. Any suggestions? You know, the Tornadus and the Latias have been kind of driving me back and forth. I've been going crazy thinking about it. The other 4 mons I'm fairly set on. I'm always a little worried running Choice Band on Entei, but other than that, I'm pretty set on everything. So, as always, I'd appreciate any suggestions in the comments, and I'll see you guys on game day. Bye.